What's up, everybody? My name's Jake. I am a Alpha 2 tester for Ashes of Creation, and the whole point of this video and goal is just to set you guys up who are coming in on November 8th, so really in like a day and a half, to have the best experience possible. And things that, like, if I could go back in time 2 weeks and tell myself, these are like the tips I would have given myself. Having played these past 2 weekends as much as I possibly could, I've had a ton of fun. So I just want to give that forward to you guys, give you guys the best start possible. Not doing any like meta tips or anything crazy like that. Just things are going to improve your experience and set you on the right track and path. So I have a list, but before we get into the list, let's talk about like how you're going to start and get into the game or get the launcher and stuff. You're going to get an email probably today if you're watching this relatively after it's being posted. You'll be able to download the launcher and from the website, and you'll be able to log in, authenticate your account, and you'll be able to make your characters before the servers go live on the 8th. 10 a.m. Pacific time is when that's going to happen if there's no delays. So once you link your Discord account to your, Intrepid account, you'll get access to some extra channels, but it's very cool. At this time, you can log in, you can make your characters and, kind of pre-prep for November 8th. So let's get into our first major tip. Let's pull up a map. This is 𝙀�プ𝙋𝘼𝙉𝘿, and it's an interactive map of the Riverlands. More than the Riverlands, it's just what's in the game right now. This map is massive, and if you enjoy traveling, like no fast travel, more old schooly, Ashes is going to feel very wonderful in the sense of like scale. Like you are just a tiny speck in a massive area. It's very cool. So the first major tip I want to give everyone is you're going to start here at the Divine Gate, or right here, sorry. And there are two starting zones at this moment. There are Lionhold, and then there's Samia's Hope. Now, in the very beginning, you're going to spawn in. There's going to be 1 million people. The servers are probably going to be throttled, super heavy from everyone coming in. And then everyone's just going to be kind of standing around and playing with their settings and stuff like that. I strongly urge you guys to talk to the first NPC. When you spawn, there's going to be a guy to your front left. You want to talk to them, grab that quest, and head out. The quicker you get out of this starting area, the smoother your experience is going to be, because the servers are big square grids, and there's just constantly going to be a barrage of people hitting that very first starting zone. And once you get out of that, you're no longer beholden to the lag and server like drain of that very starting like server square. The minute you're out of that, you're on a completely different server. If this one, is crashing or having troubles, but you're not in the starting zone, you're not going to have these same problems. So you want to grab your first quest, and you're either this is where you're going to come out right here. You're going to come out right here. This is like barriered off. So what you're going to see directly in front of you, you're not going to be able to jump off this. You have two paths now that there's two starting zones. So you can either come down this way and go to Lionhold, or you can cut through here underneath and down over to Samia's Hope. Both of these are going to have like a sort of commander hanging out. And I'm going to have visuals on screen here. There's going to be kind of like a commander or an official. And he is going to have you just go over to the wellspring, and you're going to attune to it, and then you're going to go back and talk to him. And then there's like a little, I don't know where it is in Samia's Hope, but if you're in Lionhold, there is a guy standing kind of right here, and he is going to get you started on a little artisan or professions like quest. And it all takes place just right in this zone. And it basically just kind of teaches you the very basics of crafting. It's a little overwhelming at first because you're obviously just getting used to the entire like brand new game, but you just want to do that little quest and you will get a great reward for it. I'm not going to spoil anything. And then from there, you're off. Just get out of Lionhold, get out of Samia's Hope. All of the other nodes, like cities, I don't think they're going to wipe the servers, so you'll see players out and about. You can go down to New Ayla, you can go down to Jova, we have Halcyon, Winstead, Miraleth. You wouldn't want to go down to, you know, the tropics or the desert. So any of the Riverland biomes, keep in mind, mobs are dangerous, like stay on the roads. And you might even, like when you get here, if you, let's say you went up to Winstead, the minute you get to the end of this road, there are dangerous enemies all around the town. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be at the town. It's just, I think enemies are, you know, like kind of mounting and getting ready to like surround the area. I'm not really sure why they're placed in that exact way at this current moment, but I highly recommend getting out to a town or an area around there. Doesn't really matter what you do. Enjoy the game in however you want, explore however you want. Don't let anyone push you to rush or do anything specifically. Just my main point is get out of Lionhold and get out of Samia's Hope. You'll have a much better experience out of those two zones because it's probably going to be laggy. Every day of testing has gotten better with more and more updates to networking and improving performance and stuff, but the load of players coming in is just going to probably still smash it down into pieces, and the server's gonna, this specific server worker is going to lag. It's gonna happen. Let's go to tip number 2. There are specific options that you should just they should be auto clicked for you, but for some reason they're not. Turn these on the minute you have a chance and you're looking at your settings. It is going to be, let's see. Okay, so here's a screenshot of when you click the escape key. Go ahead and go to your gameplay, then combat settings, and down here, I was playing a cleric, so keep in mind I have melee close range abilities and you know, ranged magical abilities. It doesn't really matter. In the very beginning, you're going to be able to choose like whatever types of weapons you want. You can pick up as many as you want, to my knowledge, like all of them. Pick them all up so you can test them all. Highly recommend, if you're coming from a background of like WoW or anything like that, auto attack I would enable. Toggle auto attack I would also enable. Start auto attack after melee ability and start auto attack after ranged ability. Click these on. And also clear target by clicking on nothing. Sometimes that's not turned on unless you like that. But the reason why I say this is because this game does have like the auto attacking function. Like let's say you have a bow. If you cast an ability on an enemy and you don't have like toggle auto attack after, you know, melee or ranged, you'll just cast your ability and then just sit there, and like there's a lot of people that are probably just sitting there waiting for their cooldowns on like their very first like class ability that they have, and they're not realizing that you either have to click Q to like manually continue to like perform the sword swings or the bowstring shots. If you don't have the toggle auto attack, then you know you'll have to keep manually clicking that. And if you don't have these on right here, you're just losing DPS. There's just no, I don't know. There's no reason to not have it on, because the minute you want to cast an ability, it's not like you have to wait for one of these to end. The combat feels really solid and really good. The minute you click a key to start casting an ability or performing an ability, it happens. It feels very crisp, and combat's in a very good place right now. So I just highly recommend choosing these options that work best for you and your class. And I also do the right click to target self as well, just so I don't, you know, I'm clicking around and I'm moving a lot and stuff as a healer. So I appreciate an extra way to quickly target myself without having to reach up and like hit a bar or something. Number 3. Let's go back to the map. Okay, so my tip number 3 is public events. In this game, in Ashes, it is very old school MMO-y and it is very grindy. Right now, quests and commission board quests do not give a lot of XP. Their best function is like obviously grab them, and then if you're in that area, you can just do the quest because you're already in that area. But just at the moment, regularly killing mobs and grinding mobs in areas is going to get you way more XP and level ups and items and drops much faster. Like, you would not quest at this time for XP. It's just something that you do to either explore or to supplement exploring. At the moment, it's probably best for like getting extra glint, which is just something you can turn in for more money. So public events are going to spawn just randomly all over the map. When you click the map and you open it, and you're basically looking at what I'm looking in game, you will be able to see little like gold highlighting circles, and they are going to have events. For instance, here in the Winstead node, I believe it's like right here, there is a little public event that basically has these little gremlin rabbits that spawn, and I think it spawns every like 10 to 15 minutes, and it runs for 10 minutes until the boss eventually spawns, and then until it's killed, it'll run for another minute or two, and then it despawns. These are huge bonuses to XP. So if you're figuring out, like, let's say you're running around with friends early on in the game and you kind of want to get some levels in, it's very impactful just to say, like, a level 5, it feels miles different than level 1, and level 7 will feel like insanely more powerful than a level 5. It is very satisfying to get a level, and it also takes way more effort to get a level. It's a lot of XP, but that's just how the game is, and honestly, I really enjoy it and it feels amazing. But anyways, if you're looking for some good XP while you're leveling, look for public events on the map. They're great ways to get XP, and they're also great ways to meet up with other players and kind of immerse yourself further into the world. You're doing more activities. You don't have to feel like you're exactly grinding, because each public event kind of has like its own sort of vibe. It's got a thing going on, like there's wolves attacking the town, but you got to kill all these wolves. Or with this one, like, you're grinding these little like gremlin rabbits, like I said, and then a boss spawns, and like the boss gives you like a ton of extra XP, and there's no mob tagging on it, so like you might not get the loot if you're not like the main group that does all the DPS to it, but you'll get the XP. And you know, at a lower level, like a level 2 or any elite star, you know, creatures like that boss that's going to spawn, you're going to get a ton of XP. And then also there's like every public event has a chest that you can open for participating, and that's going to be a lot of extra glint as well. So those are great XP additions if you're running around killing stuff with friends and you're kind of not really sure where to start out. Go do some public events. It's going to give you a great boost. You might get some drops. Try and save as much as your resources that you can, that you get, because you're eventually going to probably want those. And it's really good for XP and just good sense of direction. It'll give you a reason to go out to the different areas on the map, etc. And let's see, number 4. Okay, so this next tip, I actually just added this one in, is gear is going to be a little bit hard to come by, especially when it's mostly coming from drops. That being said, if you want a good early tip, gather a lot of resources and then just dump them. As you can see on screen right here, you can find Smithy vendors kind of around the world. There's also some in the starting areas too that you can go back to. Sell your stuff, like your resources that you have plenty of, and any glint, and you can buy copper weapons here that are very powerful compared to like the starting ones, and you can always come back to any of the smithies, buy them, swap them around, Trade them with your friend if you want to try a different one, etc. But these will get you to level 5 and level 10 for sure. There's copper, and then I think there's even like, you know, brass and tin ones you can find as well. But I just wanted to show that, you know, these smithy vendors are here, and they're a good way to get you know, some gear. You'll also be able to see those icons like you just saw on the map. So like right here, when you open your map, you're going to be able to see these icons. You'll be able to hover over them, and yeah, some of these NPCs will have like gear that you can buy. There will also be gear that you can buy from sort of like a smithy general vendor at any of the main nodes. So if we go back to the map here, so if you make a trip eventually out to Jova or Halcyon, etc., there's a vendor there that you can buy like earrings and I think like a necklace and stuff like that from. So just wanted to give you guys that little tip on like gear. As far as everything else, gear wise, like people are going to be like grinding mobs, and you'll be grinding mobs and rolling on like drops that calm down. You're probably not going to see people really crafting gear yet, and you probably wouldn't have the money for that anyways. So that's kind of just a little tip on like the gear in its current state at the moment, and like a little like kickstart for your fresh character, since you're probably going to be running around with no chest piece, no legs, no feet, no hands, no gloves, whatever. Like you're going to be like gearless, and you're going to need any amount of power you can get. Okay, this next one, number 5, it's possible for your character to get bugged out due to like kind of like the grid wall meshes between server squares, and you'll kind of know when this is happening when you see like something like this. I pulled this off of the Discord, so thanks Madrigal, because I have footage that I'll have to find for this. But basically, like sometimes it's very possible that if you're trying to pass through a server, or let's say you unstuck your character, something can just go wrong. This actually happened to me and a lot of other people as well, where your character can get bugged out. You're going to get disconnected, and then you're going to notice that when you try to log in again on your character you're just playing, the queue number that it's showing is not accurate, and you will never get into the game. And if you do, it'll just infinitely load. Like it'll say like, oh, 25%, it'll go all the way to full, and then it'll just loop. Like you'll never get into the actual game. So this tip actually gets you a fix around that, in case this isn't fixed by the time November 8th rolls around. So I actually recorded this for you guys as a preemptive. I didn't know if I was going to make a video about it, but here it is. Let me find it. If your character is stuck and you can't sign into it, this is an immediate fix. You want to make an alt character. Does not matter anything about it. You just need another character. And then here is what you're going to do. So you're going to select your alt. Okay. So here you see I'm selecting done or Dune. All right. And then the minute you click play, it's going to do like a little bit of processing for a second. The minute that little box closes, you immediately switch to your other character, your main one, and hit enter world. This is going to, for some reason, bypass whatever has your character that's like has a bug where it's stuck, something's not loading properly. This will get you back into the game. There are a ton of other people, content creators, streamers, that were stuck in this queue, this infinite like queue, for hours. Just to see that one more time. Okay, so we click play. All right, waiting for it. The queue thing disappears, and immediately switch over and hit enter world again. Not sure why, but if your character gets bugged and stuck, this is how you can get right back in immediately, because you'll notice like another character can get in, but your main, you won't be able to log back in. Only do this if you've tried to log in and you're sitting in queue and the number is like going down to 1 and then it's not responding. Like you'll know if your character's stuck because you'll get an infinite load screen. So this is just in case you get stuck. stuck, in case you get stuck. Okay, next one. Let's move through this. This video is getting too long already, and I don't have time to edit it. Okay, this next one is for Caravan pop-ups. This is gonna sound stupid, but anytime a Caravan is launched, see at the top right there, how that just popped up at the very top, and you see me minimize it. I don't choose attacker or defender. This is because a lot of times Caravans will be traveling somewhere. Maybe they just got launched in your zone that you're in. They passed an area you were in. It doesn't matter. These are going to pop up depending on where you're at, often to a lot of the time. And if you choose attacker, you're like flagging yourself against every other person that just chose defender. And if you don't even know where the Caravan is at, there's absolutely no point in flagging yourself, you know, for combat, essentially. So just pro tip, you're gonna see these Caravan events pop up all the time. The most annoying thing is if you hit attacker and let's say your friend, someone in your party, whatever, hits defender, and now you two are like red to each other as if they're like, you know, a targetable like enemy, because you're both doing like the opposite attacker and defender role for that Caravan event. You don't even know where the Caravan is. So I just implore you, if you see the Caravan event little notification banner pop up and you don't even know where the Caravan is, and you're not interested at that time going to hunt that Caravan down and either trying to attack it or defend it, just minimize it and just let it sit there at the top of the map. That is probably going to be the best option for that. I just wanted to touch on that because you're going to see that pop up. And there was a little bit of time on the very first day where like someone in our party was like red towards me and I was red towards them, and we were like, what is going on there? And we realized it was, see how it just disappeared? Just like that. Eventually it'll just disappear, just ignore it, yada, yada, yada. Okay, next tip, number 7, nice, quick and easy. How to flag for PvP. Okay, so to flag for PvP, it's gonna be Alt F, and that's gonna toggle it, and you will see a little flagging icon appear right up here. And at that point you will be, you know, targetable by other players. So Alt F toggles it on, Alt F toggles it off. That's really all you need to know about that one. Okay guys, this next one, another super important one, because it's just something that is not explained, and you're gonna want to know how to do these ASAP. So social interactions, there's no social tab, like there's no friends list. There's really just no friends list. I guess they just haven't gotten it into implementing it yet. There are like guild windows and stuff like that, but when you first start off, you're obviously probably not going to have a guild or an invite to a guild. So you need to know these social interactions right here. Basically, if you want to invite your friend to a party, you need to type, so my in-game character's name is Faye. So if you were trying to invite me to a party, you would type /invite space, and then just the name of the character you're trying to invite. This is how you're going to either, like if you're starting a group and you're saying like, hey, I want to go grind mobs together. I'm a level 6 cleric and I'm looking for anyone else that wants to join me. And I message you, you would type /invite space Faye. If you want to whisper, let's say you want to whisper someone and say like, yo, what's up? And you want to do that with me, you would do /whisper space my name or the character's name. So in this case, it'd be Faye space whatever you want to type. And that's how you'll initiate the whisper conversation. Once the conversation's already started and like they respond back, I think after you send it the initial like first message, if you enter again to chat again, you'll still be in like the whisper tab, and it'll be the same if like you're replying to them. If you want to switch to be like, you know, global chat, yelling, etc., that's all super easy. You just type the / like yell, and I think that one will I think these normal ones will change immediately, because you'll have little like chat filters that you can click on. And then the final one for tip number 8, don't forget /bug. So in this current build, you're going to see a lot of goofy stuff happening, and you're going to see funny stuff, lots of bugs. it's just the state that we're in, and everyone kind of signed up for that. So like, set your expectations correctly. You're going to see bugs. It is going to happen. I've heard of people like falling through the floor and stuff like that. I haven't seen it happen, but like, these bugs do exist. If you run into something that's kind of niche, anything that's like not obviously like a tree clipping in the distance that like 300 people are probably going to also see and report, definitely slash bug it, especially if you think it like has only happened to you, or just any obscurity of it. If it's odd or something's weird, and it's like, oh yeah, it's not like a rock sitting on the floor that's like half clipping through the floor. Like, if it's something else random, definitely just type slash bug. All you have to do is put it in a title, and then like what caused it to happen or what should have happened, and just submit it. Do your part. You know, I've submitted a few bugs already, and it's, you know, I only submitted ones that were like odd, where I was like, damn, that was kind of weird. Don't, like, I actually think this data could be like useful, and I did slash bug, and then whatever, you know. Number 9, have fun, play and explore at your own pace, and group up with others. This game rewards you playing with other people. I've had more fun in the past 4 days I've gotten to play Ashes, like last weekend and this previous weekend, the first weekend and this previous weekend. I've had more fun grouping up with random players, and then like later on, like seeing them out in the wild at like another grind spot and being like, yo, like so and so, nice to see you, like, you want to join my party? Like, I have 7 people right now. And then they would join, and like now we have 2 healers or 2 clerics. And seeing the same people in the same world, like they don't just like phase out and then you never see them again. There is a real feeling of permanence in the world of VERRA and in Ashes, and it's very, it feels like an old school MMO. It feels like back in the old days. So cherish that, not because it's going to disappear, but because, you know, your expectations and your first experiences coming into this game are going to be like the first memories you write, you know, into this, like this book of like an experience that you're going to look back on. Don't try to metagame anything if you don't want to. Like, just play how you want to play, have the most fun that you possibly can. If you want to go run around and look for copper and harvest wolves, or harvest the flowers and mine the basalt on the ground, like, you do that. Fill your inventory and then go figure out somewhere to deposit it at like a node or a city. Like, just have fun. Don't let anyone tell you how you should play, and just enjoy exploring a brand new world and, you know, grinding mobs and getting those levels and feeling that sense of power and like real, I want to say, like progression and like accomplishment that like each level gives you. It is such a blast, and it's such a good time. And the final thing I just want to, you know, impart with everyone, as we're pretty much at the end, and this video is like 30 minutes. I'm really not sure how much I'm going to be able to cut this down. It's like 1:17 in the morning, the day before the 8th. So, rambling, but basically, like, you know, set your expectations correctly and you'll have a ton of fun. The game is polished in some areas where you would definitely not expect it. The combat feels amazing. And then in other places where, like, you know, a server just blew up and now everyone's kind of desyncing in that area, like, these things are going to happen. Just remember that this phase 1 of Alpha 2 is about networking, stability, and ironing out performance issues. Don't expect like things to just be like snap of a finger and they're fixed, or a snap of the finger and they're better. Like, things are going to be a little scuffed for sure, but there's still a lot here to play with, and just embrace the world, enjoy it, and chat with other people and put yourself out there in this new world. Don't bring all these like old MMO like beliefs and ways of playing into Ashes, and you're gonna have an amazing time. Treat this like a brand new game and a brand new experience, and realize that everyone's kind of like building this new culture with this game, and I don't know the right word right now. I'm tired. Anyways, the experience has been awesome, and it's going to be awesome for you guys. Welcome to the game. I hope you have a ton of fun, and I hope this video helped. If it did in any way, like, subscribe. I'm going to keep making more. I'm just trying to, find the time to do it in between work and then playing. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the game. We're on Lyneth, so if you want to play on Lyneth, we are playing on Lyneth. All right. See you guys later. Have a good night. Have a good game. Have fun. Bye.